Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I just wanted to go over a couple of the sections that we just did notes on. We're not actually going to do these, but I want to kind of touch on what they have in those. So the first one is Activity 2.1.1. This is about wood framing systems. And in this assignment, you were supposed to read some notes and get this handout, and you were going to fill it in. And basically, you were going to label this diagram. Let's pull it up. You were going to label this diagram with all the little pieces and things that were here. Without having a color picture of this, it's kind of hard to do that, and I didn't want to spend time on this. I just need you to know the difference between the studs and like the sill plates and top plates and that sort of thing. Also think about the wood framing around the windows and doors and what happens under the floor, what happens in the ceiling, where does the insulation go, that sort of thing. Okay, so if we go on down to the end of this, you'll see that there are a couple of videos here. This is the University of Colorado and their building workshop. So you can watch these videos for a little more information about that. And then the last questions that are down here is asking you to describe some components in the house that you live in, just to show that you understand how those components work together. And then also think about how do you think construction and wood framing is going to change in the near future. And you should be thinking along the lines of how can we make this more sustainable? Could we interrupt or intercept waste streams and capture some of those materials as building supplies? Another thing that's kind of on the scene is this idea of 3D printing buildings, which has some pros and cons. Pros are you can use some fairly easy to get a hold of materials. Cons are you have to have some serious equipment and some highly skilled labor in order to do that. But those are a few things we need to think about there. Let's take a look at the other one, which is roof systems. And the main thing I wanted you to get out of this is that there are different kinds of roofs and what those are called and kind of their features, the pros and cons of using each one of those. In this assignment, they have you choose a style and actually build it. And I decided to have you guys design and build a 3D model of an architectural type rather than this roof system. We may come back and visit this again if I decide that we need some hands-on material to kind of supplement so that we can get off of the computers a little bit. But they would have you look around and see what's most common in the area where we live. Most of the roofs around us are going to be hip and valley, and the reason is that's a really efficient use of materials. You don't spend time building the gable ends up so much, and you're covering the entire surface of the roof with some sort of shingling, like usually asphalt shingling around here. And then it was asking if you were going to design a roof yourself, what would you choose and why? Again, it comes down to what are the pros and cons of using these. So what we'll see is in residential design, it's almost always a pitched roof, and in commercial design, it's almost always a low pitch roof. So that's a little bit about what we should have picked up from those two assignments. All right, thank you so much.